O'Hara. I'm the Deputy Leader of the Green Party in Northern Ireland. I'm from Belfast, but I've come down to Omagh today to show solidarity and support with Omagh's first Pride event, festival. I'm delighted to be here. I think it's vitally important that we say loudly and clearly that LGBT people are everywhere, in every town, every village, every community, every workplace, every school, every church, every family has LGBT people, and visibility of LGBT people in rural areas is really important. I like the colour, the atmosphere. I always said as an activist for many years, when we start having prides in rural communities, we're really starting to win, and I think having this today in Omagh is symptomatic of that. But we have an active green group here. Our West Tyrone Greens are established, and we have student candidates here. We've been involved with supporting Omagh Pride and helping them to deliver this festival today. Dancing, seeing friends, activists, family, having the crack and really having a great day, and seeing how that can provide encouragement for the next generation coming through, that they can be truly who they are. I just want to say, up the queers, have a great day.
So we're here today with the Rainbow Project to celebrate the first ever Omagh Pride. We're so proud of the organisers, we're so proud of Omagh. What a wonderful day it has been, both for the town and for the LGBTQ plus community. It's hugely important that rural prides like this are supported, particularly in places like Omagh. So many LGBT people for too many years have moved away from our rural communities because they don't feel welcomed and they don't feel valued. We want to see that change. Omagh benefits from LGBTQ plus people living here, and we want them to know that they are celebrated and that they are welcome. And Omagh gave us a truly fantastic welcome here today. If you want to contact the Rainbow Project, you can check us out on our website, rainbow-project.org, or search for us on social media. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email, or give us a call. We're here to support you in whatever your needs are. My favourite part of Pride is seeing all my friends. There's so many LGBTQ plus people that I only get to see at events like this, and so many of them are here today to support the first ever Omagh Pride.
Well, I'm in Omagh today because I think that it's important that we stand in solidarity with our LGBT citizens as they celebrate their wonderful culture, but also as they protest for the equality and fairness and dignity that all citizens in our society are entitled to. Well, I think that it's a real positive statement about just how open, generous and tolerant our society actually is, that we are changing, that we are embracing our diversity, and today in a rainbow of colour, Omagh is saying we are proud. My favourite part of Pride, I think it's just the opportunity to stand in solidarity with our friends and with our family members who are seeking that equality, that fairness and that dignity that all of us are entitled to. Well, I mean, as someone who lives in Omagh, as someone who is proud of Omagh, I'm just delighted to see that this opportunity has finally came to the town.
Happening for this first gay pride in Omagh. I'm waiting for it a whole year. I can't wait to see my sister watch this, because she'll be watching on TV by all the rest of my family as well, and my friends as well. Some of my friends will be in the town watching. This is the Christopher Street Gay Liberation Day banner 1970. It's a replica of the very first Pride banner ever in the world. It was on the very first parade, so we think it's important that it's the first Pride parade in Omagh, and so we thought it would be really cool to have a very old historical banner on it as well. We're from Belfast a lot, but I'm actually from Omagh. I was Omagh born and bred. So. I think it's the people. Basically the sense of community, and also it's extremely affirming as well, the support. So Pride's very, very happy and healthy.
We're down for Omagh Pride today. It's the very first Pride we're celebrating in Omagh, and it's a lovely day, a really good, fun occasion, great crowd about, and we're all really excited for it. Oh, it's really, really important that people from the LGBTQ plus community in rural areas know that they're being heard, listened to, that their rights are as important as everyone else's as well. So it's really important that we celebrate it in Omagh and elsewhere. I love getting out and meeting all the new people. It's just a really good, fun, lively, good, positive day. I'm really looking forward to today.
much. Happy Pride. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, happy Pride.
Absolutely. Great for Omagh.
My daughter's the same.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Is she marching today?
No, she's in England.
So we lost far too many people away from Northern Ireland because of homophobia,
Yeah,
transphobia.
she only came out there.
Yeah.
So she has.
Yeah. Happy Pride. Happy Pride. Thanks so much for coming out.
We made our world on the streets of Omagh. LGBT people have always been here. At the clock in the 90s? Yes? Everybody over 30. There we go. In the Grange Park? What were you doing in them bushes? On Gumtree, Grindr, or Tinder? But today we aren't hiding. As of this month, in Northern Ireland, our blood can be donated to our fellow human beings. We have the choice to marry, adopt, seek fertility treatment. You know, I was in Omagh Oxfam just after the announcement, and your woman comes up and she says, guess what? I've got 3 gay children. That's your ma! That's your ma! There you got his ma there, I swear. She was like so proud. It wasn't like, oh, my children's a doctor. It was like, I have 3 gay children, actually. You know? So that's like, we've come so far. I've just spent 5 years in Malaysia where being LGBT is illegal. There are 69 countries where queer people are beaten, fined, imprisoned. In 13 of those countries, can someone get that? Sorry. Here we go. In 13 of those countries, LGBT people can even be put to death. Homosexuality was only decriminalised in this country in 1982. Marriage equality was forced through by English MPs in 2020. So-called conversion therapy is still legal. Tolerance and acceptance is not enough. We need to embrace all types of sexual and gender expression. Today, Omagh showed that LGBT people can simply be, without apology or explanation, that when someone asks my mother if I have a man, she can proudly correct their assumption and say, my daughter is a lesbian. Mummy's over there. Where is Mummy? Come on, bring her up to the front. Where is she? She's in the accessible viewing area, is she? My mum said, when you came out, I was so angry. Not at you, but because I thought it would make your life difficult. But 13 years later, she can see the change in me. I'm more at peace, less likely to fly off the handle. Queer people often live separate identities, making constant calculations about whether it is safe or not to reveal themselves. By taking over the streets, we show that we are no longer on the outside. We are part of this town. We show the surrounding villages and farms that you don't have to abandon your home place and take your talents and passions and spirits to faraway lands. Yes! I only began to be honest about my sexuality in my mid-20s when I moved to London. What a difference it would have made in my life if there had been a Pride parade in Omagh when I was a teenager. In the 1990s, in 1999, the backlash against the first lesbian kiss by Ellen on the TV was enough to put me back in the closet. My sister's friends were hauled into the principal's office for holding hands. It seemed so hard. Even though my partner's country criminalises our love, mine doesn't. We can legally be here together. At our wedding, all my uncles were there, and the Gorchin Community Centre was delighted to have their first wedding. Never mind, it was 2 women. In 2021, I am so grateful that my wife is with me when my mum needs us. That as a family, we can walk down Omagh High Street surrounded by rainbows, samba bands, placards and glitter and shimmery and shimmy and boogie. We don't have to run away to be ourselves. We can make our world in the sperrins and the bogs, by the lakes and the burns and the glens and the windy roads. We live fully when we step out of the shadows, stop being who we think the world wants us to be, and return to who we are. Today in Omagh, we celebrate rural queers.
We are so honoured to be able to open for this amazing event, and you guys are all very, very beautiful. Very beautiful.
We're gonna have as much fun as possible. I encourage you to do the same, because a day like this comes once in a while, and it's worth it.
I'ma teach you, I'm gonna teach you, Johnny. Yeah, I'ma feast on you like a beast that I used to be. And that'll teach you a lesson I'll tell. Yeah, that'll teach you what it means to define me. Da 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 ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da da ba da ba da ba da ba da da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da da ba da ba da ba. Yeah. Oh my. I will erase you. I'ma delete you, Johnny.
It's absolutely fantastic to see such a huge crowd out for the very first Omagh Pride. Thanks so much, Kat, for the introduction. She said that I'm a campaigner against conversion therapy. A lot of people, whenever I first mention that, a lot of people don't actually know what it is. It's a practice by which someone tries to change or coerce or influence someone to try and change their sexual orientation, gender identity or gender expression, and it's been considered a form of torture according to the UN, and probably the most shocking thing about it is that it is still legal here, because it can take so many forms. It can take so many forms, either within religious settings, within sort of quasi-medical therapy sessions. It can be done in the home, it can be done within the community, and it's something that is absolutely abhorrent. The National LGBT Survey done across the UK a number of years ago said that 7% of LGBT people were offered or were subjected to conversion therapy. That number then rises here in Northern Ireland, where it's 14%, and then it's even higher again for further marginalised groups like trans people, asexual people, ethnic minorities. So we need to ensure that any ban covers all types of conversion therapy in all its forms, wherever it's practiced. Now, we are making a little bit of progress. We're slowly but surely getting there. In Northern Ireland, there was recently a motion passed in the Assembly by a huge margin, brought by the Ulster Unionists, and it was so wonderful to see so many people from across the political spectrum come out to support not just a ban, but a complete and total ban. One party plus the two gyms accepted, but you know, they're getting less and less relevant by the day. But again, speaking specifically about rural areas, you know, Omagh and the surrounding areas, there is a perception that conversion therapy happens more and more in rural areas, and it's so important that we ensure that events like this, where we're shown to be visible and we are seen and we are proud to be here, that's so important for dispelling this myth that someone is alone or someone has to go through this procedure, because it's absolutely abhorrent, and fingers crossed in the next year or two it will be completely banned altogether in Northern Ireland. Thanks so much, everyone. I'm going to hand back.
Hi everybody, and happy Omagh Pride! Come here, I don't know about choosings, but I was so thankful to have a little bit of deep breathing before this. You know, it's a little bit different talking to people on Zoom for the past couple of years, it feels like. So I'll tell you a little bit about CareFriend. CareFriend has been operating regional youth services for LGBTQI plus children and young people for nearly 20 years. I know. LGBTQI plus young people often face a world where they're pushed away from their own identity and they don't really have their own spaces. It's absolutely amazing to see that 6 months after we have launched our own group in Omagh, that there's so many people here, we're thriving and we're vibing. With so many queer people, both young and less young, let's say, yeah. Already and eager to see their own home move forward and become more inclusive for every single younger person in society. It's just so great to see, so please, big whoop for Omagh. One thing I'd like to do is thank our partners in the Omagh Boys and Girls Club and the Omagh Pride Committee for their support and collaboration to deliver on an LGBTQI plus safe space led by and supported by Omagh people. and the opportunities that they've afforded each and every one of the amazing young people that have come to find a space to be themselves. Would also like to thank the young people for attending the group in Omagh, getting to know us and allowing us to get to know them. And after a day trip featuring off-road driving, exactly who shouldn't be doing driving lessons? We appreciate each and every single one of you. If you or anyone else you know would like to join the group, please contact us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email, give us a call, fire the smoke signal. We would love to have you in the group. Here's to Omagh Pride in 2022, and I hope everyone has a fantastic day.
From Ballymena. So I know what it's like to grow up in an environment, in an area where you don't feel accepted. To see something like this, for me, really brings me hope for my own hometown. So when I was asked to be here, I couldn't say yes faster.
Wonderful to be here. Hi, Audrey. So, you have been warned, I am a counsellor, so I'm used to kind of talking about sad stuff. On my drive down from Belfast to Omagh last night, I thought of all the other times I've been here before, and my visits have mostly been connected to other jobs that I've had in the past. So I want to give a quick shout out to some of the local places that I've worked with in the past, to Omagh Ethnic Community Support Group, which maybe there's some representatives here today. Yeah. Also, I did some work with local hospitals and trusts in the past. A big shout out to all those people trying to keep our vital health services going under the most difficult of circumstances. Yep, absolutely. The last time I was down here, I was at Drumragh Integrated College, which brings, we've got some pupils here, which brings together young people from different community backgrounds to be educated under the same roof. So it's on that kind of historical troubles note, without wishing to re-traumatise any of you, that another inevitable association I have of Omagh was recalled on my drive here last night. Of course, I'm referring to the Omagh bombing of 1998. For me, I'd just returned to Belfast from university in England, and so many thoughts and feelings were going through my head as I watched those tragic events unfold on TV. Ultimately, I was reminded of my participation years earlier in the spirit of Enniskillen. Again, a cross-community organisation that brings young people together in the past. And all this was born out of a similar trauma to you yourselves, to that which you yourselves have faced in Omagh. 10 years on from Enniskillen, I knew I still had to stay, do more to help change this place we call Northern Ireland, or Ulster, or the north of Ireland. And it's one of the reasons I'm still here, motivated to want to change this place we all call home, motivated to want to change it for the better. And I know, like so many of you here, that's exactly why you're here, for this desire for positive social change. And I think that a lot of you are probably driven, like me, in part by the family, colleagues, service users and friends that have lost their lives through violence or suicide. Let's take a very short moment to remember them. So, here I am again today in this resilient town of Omagh. Now, I'm a counsellor, as you know, for the Rainbow Project. Have I mentioned that before? And my day-to-day talking or listening is done behind the closed doors, confidential doors of a counselling room or a counselling Zoom. Trying to support lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, non-binary, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual people of all ages throughout Northern Ireland. As a co-cultural service, the challenges and traumas in life our LGBTQIA+ clients go through, we similarly go or have gone through in our personal lives. And we feel both a huge responsibility and hugely privileged at the same time to attempt to fulfill that role. Our issues materialise in ways which are familiar to all who experience discrimination, inequality, rejection or loss of any kind. Family conflict, friendship and relationship difficulties, school, college, university stresses, work struggles, health concerns, drug, alcohol, food misuse, self-harming behaviours, depression, social anxiety, and again, most tragically, suicidal ideation and intent. But all these symptoms of pain and more we experience at a disproportionate rate to others in our society. These and many other mental and emotional issues have of course been heightened during the last 18 months of pandemic for many. The fact that our counselling waiting lists have grown exponentially during this time is a source of great consternation for us as an organisation and obviously for our whole community and sector. We're doing all we can to increase our capacity to respond, but from a therapeutic point of view and grasping at a silver lining, the increased demand at least can be viewed as a sign of hope that more and more people are realising for themselves that change starts from inside, then spreads outward. My message today is much the same as it's been every other time I've visited Omagh, on missions of anti-racism or anti-sectarianism, and again today to affirm LGBTQI identities and experiences. Don't let what has hurt you in the past define you. Avail of those healthier opportunities now available to you to heal and nurture yourself, and try to focus less on depending on others or fighting those who seem to oppose you. They too have their own internal struggles. The more you learn to nurture yourself, the more capacity you'll have to nurture others, or at least do others no harm. And last but not least, this philosophy I'm reminded of having recently had the privilege to be with some of the organisers of today. Despite the localised hurts and losses endured over the years, they have learned to love themselves enough to want to celebrate that publicly with you today, making themselves more visible in spite of the risk of further opposition. Today is a day to be proud of our queer children of Omagh, because they are brave and they are beautiful and brilliant just as they are. Look at what the organisers have been capable of in bringing for us today. True celebration of Pride in Omagh. Let our presence here be a thank you to them, and let's keep on nurturing ourselves and nurturing each other to be the proudest, most loving human beings that we can be. Thank you.
I stand here wondering to myself, is it truly worth it? Should I tell them now? How are they going to react? Will they be angry? Will there be tears? Or will there be that awkward silence where you wish aliens would just come and abduct you already? Or maybe the opposite will happen. Maybe they'll just leap over the Eiffel Tower and throw me a huge coming out party, blasting the Abbot tunes and decorating the house with rainbow cakes and rainbow flags. Enrolling in the theatre school may actually give me the opportunity to express myself freely around like-minded people. No more being called a fag or a fruit, just like in high school. No more being told to act straight to avoid getting slapped. Just act normal and you won't get bullied. Someone once yelled at me at a night out. Just dress normal. Someone once yelled at me. This only prompted me to dress more flamboyantly. It'll make dating so much easier for me. I can walk through the park holding my partner's hand without fear, wearing dungarees and slipping pina coladas with a cute little umbrella. I've always loved the LGBT couples you see in the TV and the movies. A Heath Ledger to my Jake Gyllenhaal, a Magnus Magneto to my Alec Lightwood, my own Danny to my Ethan. Here it goes. It's really scary to come out, especially to your family, which is exactly why it's so important to have these events. The sense of acceptance you get knowing you're not alone in the battle. You must never be ashamed of who you are. Thank you.
I'll meet you at the crossroads at the dead of night, and dance we will to the morning light, till the dew is dripping from our hair, and our eyes are like moons locked in a cold stare. The eye of a needle is spinning yarns, tunes that once echoed through dancing barns. It kept us on our toes, helped us to tell. One day from the flow, heaven from hell. It's a swell party, this is. And I'm barely done on my knees. The spin you put on this old tale, weaving through the country pale, like words on the lips of clouds, the burning of the morning shroud. You took me at my word and at my thought. It was all I had, it was not a lot. Throwing caution to the wind, the mastery of a full spin. It's a swell party, this is. Barely done on my knees, like I know what it is. It's a swell party, this is. I'm barely done on my knees, like I know what it is. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Hello everyone, it is an absolute honour to be here today, thank you. I think this is the most significant Pride event in Northern Ireland in recent years, so it's an incredible honour to be here. I'd like to take a wee moment to remember a son of this town and someone I knew. I was at the police college at the same time as Ronan Kerr. Ronan started a few weeks behind me. Those of us that were a few weeks ahead would help those coming into the college to find their feet, so to speak. We don't do this anymore, but back in those days you had two pairs of boots. Your number ones, which were your shiny, pristine, that you saved for special occasions, and your number twos, which were for your day-to-day wear. Having very shiny, bold boots was a real point of pride. Ronan couldn't polish his boots for love nor money. I'd been in the Air Cadets before, so bulling boots to me was just something I knew how to do. To help him, I polished up a pair of his boots to a mirror finish. They were a thing of beauty. He brought them back to me a day later, and he must have played football or something in them because somehow all the polish had been rubbed off them. He was parading the next day, and we used to get inspected by a senior officer. We don't do that anymore, but it was a big moment, and he needed a pair of number 1 shiny boots. We had the same sized feet, so I gave him my number 1 boots, and he gave me the ones that he managed to absolutely wreck. I polished up the boots that he gave me, and I looked after them, and I made them my new number 1s. When Ronan was killed, I promised myself I'd keep those boots forever, and only use them for special occasions. I have worn them to every Pride event I have ever walked in uniform. These boots have been around the world. I wore them at the first ever Pride in Belfast in uniform, and I will wear them at the last one when I retire. Every time I put them on, I take a wee minute to remember him. I am wearing them today with pride. We were different people. He was from the country, I'm from the city. He was straight, I'm queer. When we were young, he played Gaelic while I was in the Air Cadets. He had a strong Irish identity, and I was brought up in a mixed marriage with a shared identity. We didn't know each other from before, and we were very different people, but we supported each other as colleagues. That was my start in policing, and that's how it continued for me. Different people from different backgrounds working together to support one another so we can keep our communities safe. That's what being in the police is about to me. Today is a day for bringing important things home, and I am proud to bring home a small memento of my remembered colleague back to his hometown. That is what today is about, bringing something important home. We are bringing pride home to Omagh today so that coming generations of LGBTQIA people from this town won't have to go away to be gay, as so many people from my generation had to do. Ronan was not ashamed of any aspect of his identity. He was proud of where he came from, and he was absolutely true to his authentic self. He couldn't be anything else but genuine. Bringing pride home to Omagh will empower the LGBT plus people of this town to be their true authentic selves. They won't have to run away to find acceptance and community. They will have acceptance, community and love right here in their home where it really matters. It's so important that LGBT people here in Northern Ireland can look around them and see themselves reflected in the society they live in, not just in certain sections of it, but across all strata and all of society's institutions, including policing. It is so important that our young people don't have to look across the Atlantic or across the Irish Sea to see a role model they can identify with. It's important to have those role models right here so they know they can be themselves here in their home. Policing is a human endeavour, and human beings aren't perfect, and neither is the police. Policing is constantly evolving, and we need our diverse communities to help us drive the positive change we all want to see. Like I said about me and Ronan, different people from different backgrounds working together to keep our communities safe. Police engagement with the LGBT community isn't about cynical box ticking or hollow PR exercises. It's a genuine effort to connect with a marginalised community which historically has not been treated well by the police. LGBT people within policing are often at the forefront of that engagement because we profoundly care about the communities that we come from. We want you to be safe, protected and empowered. Omagh's LGBT community engaged with us and challenged us to rethink what Pride participation could look like, and we listened and we did something different. Today at Omagh Pride, as Kat was saying earlier, LGBT officers from different districts all across Northern Ireland have come here today and volunteered to help police the event. This hasn't happened before. So if you see police here today, please remember, we are your police service. We are here for your safety, we are here for your protection, and we are here to engage with all the communities of Omagh that have come out to celebrate today. Come and talk to us about what we've done right, talk to us about what we've done wrong, and talk to us about what we can do better. We're here to listen and we're here to engage. I'll leave you with this message from me to the amazing, incredible, fantastic LGBTQIA plus people of this town who have been so welcoming today, and especially for those who might be struggling with their sexuality or their gender identity. You are who you are meant to be. There is nothing wrong with you. Let no one else define who you are, and let no one put you down. The best thing you can be in life is the truest version of your authentic self. Being true to yourself makes you shine, and when you shine, you can be a light for others to follow. You are meant to be seen. You are meant to be celebrated. Be proud of who you are and be proud of your town, because it looks great today. Thank you.
Omagh Pride, what's happening? This song's called Abigail.
Thank you so much, everybody, for staying this long, and it's just been incredible. Like, honestly, it just hurt. I was just crying coming down the parade. Like, thank you so much. Like, it means the world to me. So I've got some words from different people in the organising group, including myself, that I'd like to share with you. Many of us rural LGBT people enjoy few opportunities to be out and proud. Finding ourselves without immediate and visible queer community to engage with, or worse, a hostile, homophobic and transphobic one at our doorstep. This is why Omagh Pride is so important. It is for rural populations and for our LGBT community that events like Omagh Pride will serve the role of bringing us together, like we are today. On a personal note, feeling isolated as a queer person living in rural Tyrone, I reached out to the Rainbow Project and spoke to Marty, who runs the Queers outside the city. She first introduced me to this term, trailblazer, which means the first person to do something or to go somewhere who shows that it's also possible for other people. I loved this term. I wanted to be this person for queer people in Omagh. Kat Brogan, one of our organisers, was this person for me when she invited me to her parents, invited my parents to her wedding celebration, and not long after that I came out. Middlester Pride was this for us, and no doubt Omagh Pride will be a trailblazer for other rural prides. Each and every one of you here are trailblazers by simply turning up and being here to stand with and for LGBTQIA people and our human rights. We stand here for freedom to love whoever our hearts desire, to be visible, to show our courage, and to be who we are in all our glory and beauty. This historic day marks the first of many Pride events in Omagh. We have set the trail ablaze for generations to come, a day not to be forgotten. And one of our organisers wished to share this. We deserve to sing loudly about our experiences and who we are. That's what music is, and queer voices deserve the space, time and support to do that. Every person deserves to see artists who they can connect with and relate to and be inspired by. Queer artists deserve to be heard, supported and empowered. With the music industry, every lonely corner is made brighter and more beautiful when queer art is allowed to shine into it. This is by Louise Fleming from the band Baby Lamb. So, I want to give a shout out to all our hard-working, devoted, passionate organisers and volunteers. You can see them all over here. Give a big round of applause. We have made this happen in only 4 months. Our organising team have been amazing with skill sets exactly what we needed, such as health and safety knowledge, design work, and events management. Our process involved both LGBTQIA people and allies, but has always been queer-led. To our wonderful performers, our speakers, to those wonderful people, organisations, groups and businesses who donated so generously to make this happen. We raised over £5,000 to make this happen. Amazing. And lastly, thanks to all of you. You are the pride of Omagh. Peace and love to you all.
Yes, this is amazing, a momentous day, an absolute landmark occasion here in Omagh Town. First Omagh Pride, really making history, and it could not have gone better. We had an amazing turnout. We walked up through the town, down Main Street and back here to Southwest College. Absolutely fabulous. We've had headliners, we've had chair, we've had drag, we've had artists, and everyone's had a smile on their face the whole day. It's been amazing, and hopefully it'll be an annual thing. Yes, we're going to get together in a couple of months, and hopefully we'll organise a constituted group, and this will be a thing that's happening every year for everybody. Absolutely.